That was, without a doubt, just a little bit special. That is the word people are using. That is what you have to be in order to make a former good champion in Stephen Fulton look like not much at all. Like a fringe contender. Totally out of his depth, couldn't deal with the speed. When you get such a one-sided fight, of course, you kind of want to acknowledge the other guy's effort by maybe giving him a charity round, which in this case would have been the 5th. But no, despite what the official scorecard said, it was supreme domination, and that is the gulf in class you show against a very good fighter when you are truly special. Comparisons with the great Manny Pacquiao are sure to keep on coming thick and fast. The Pacquiao fight that this fight reminded me of very much was when Pacquiao first went up to lightweight against David Diaz. At the time, Pacquiao had shown himself to be the best at feather and super feather, but there was a bit of a feeling from people going up to 135 where you just weren't sure if the physicality was going to be enough. And maybe to a lesser degree, there was a little bit of that feeling with Inoue going towards Fulton. And then they both proceeded to dominate every round, beautiful boxing, and then finish it. I think Manny finished it in the 9th, of course, Inoue in the 8th. And what those respective victories have done for Pacquiao in the past and for Inoue right now is that they changed the landscape of what we thought was possible. Maybe not for those who were really in the know, like, say, Lee Wood, British featherweight, who sparred with Inoue back in 2019. He felt the power, he saw the coordination, and even if it's just sparring, he got a sense of what this guy can achieve. But for the casual audience, for most of us, we are now in this position where we're not sure how high he can go. All of a sudden, things have changed. Most of us probably now favour him over everybody at 126 pounds. That is a hell of a thing to say, considering Inoue hasn't even fought there yet. But while we are going to keep getting those comparisons with Manny Pacquiao, I don't want them to almost try and push Inoue down that kind of route. He doesn't have to keep necessarily weight hopping. I prefer how he's gone about things at bantamweight, stay a little bit longer, try and become undisputed, flatten the division first, and then go up. There was a time in the noughties when both Pacquiao and Mayweather, they were weight hopping, but they were only fighting one guy and then they were going up. I prefer it if you just can dominate a division a little bit, just consolidate all the belts, right? Thanos style, collecting all the stones, as they say, and then on to the next one. It's just got a bit of that more accomplished feel, and looking at the likes of Marlon Tapala straight away being put in the ring, it looks like that's what Team Inoue want to do. For those who weren't familiar enough with Inoue, maybe the thing that really stood out for them was the boxing ability. For those of us who already know that he's a quality boxer, I think just the speed was so impressive from the Japanese. His little arms are like lightning rods. The right hand that finished it, boom, it got there like a piston. If anything, he's gotten quicker. People say those cliched kind of things, but I certainly haven't seen any diminished kind of speed at 122 or whatever he was in the ring, probably 130 plus. It's just so quick. And I've mentioned before that there's almost a little bit of Roy Jones about Inoue. Yes, he's more of a blend of fundamentals and athleticism, but he's such a specimen that he seems to be able to just get you in your head straight away. Like, right, I don't want to make a wrong move now because he's so quick at countering. Jones used to do that. You didn't want to go forward too much because he kept picking you up on something. Like an overbearing teacher, just horrendous. And it makes you clam up. So we have all these retrospective geniuses now, coaches. Oh, well, Fulton should have done this and that. Fulton did the best he could with what he was faced with. He knew every time he made a slight wrong move, which against another fighter wouldn't have been a mistake, Inoue makes it a mistake because of the speed and precision. It was quite telling that Inoue really fancies himself against guys around this size. There was no hesitancy from him, like, oh, Fulton's supposed to have his little moment of outboxing me, isn't he? And then I'm supposed to come back. No, he just took charge straight away, like, look, I've got enough of a gauge on people like you. I know I'm better. Just his body language reminded me of how Usyk approached Joshua when we weren't sure in that first fight, but more so. Just like, you can't do anything here. We do want to hear a little bit more credit for Fulton. Yes, we know he got paid well, but he did try and win there. He showed some real guts to get up again. He was blindsided by that left hand because of the unfortunate manner in which he crumbled after the right hand. And he even tried to throw a body shot I saw during the final onslaught. He's got some cojones. He seemed like a pretty stand-up guy, he seemed like a solid champion, and my opinion about that has not changed. If he isn't mentally affected by this defeat, I can see Scooter going on to still do some pretty solid things. And as for the monster who continues to earn his nickname over and over again, we've got a bit of a lamb to the slaughter situation with Marlon Tapales. It's good stuff. He's bringing the other 2 belts. Inoue is very probably going to become undisputed at 2 different weights. I don't want to make it sound like a foregone conclusion, but geez, I'd like to see the odds for this one when they're put up. So where do we rate Inoue? I'm seeing a lot of people say pound for pound number 1, which I really can't argue with. A lot of the essence of pound for pound is in the manner in which you dominate. And nothing has changed for the past few years. Inoue remains the most dominant fighter on the planet. Now, if the upcoming super fight between Terence Crawford and Errol Spence is a little bit closer than we'd like, then I've heard some people say, well, that automatically means that Inoue holds on to his pound-for-pound number 1 spot. But what do you think? Do you agree with that? And how much did you enjoy that performance? Are we looking at somebody who could be as great as Manny Pacquiao?